Well met, and welcome back to another RuneScape 3 Ironman progress video. So, in the last episode, we spent a bunch of time, like a lot of time, talking about how we were trying to unlock the porters, we're trying to progress the account, we're trying to move forward, and we identified that we're going to go do Dragon Slayer so that we could unlock our rune armor and get some better gear going, and that we're going to finally do this Family Crest Quest, which is still a mouthful, in order to unlock easier gold mining so that we can gather gold faster, so that we can make the necklaces faster, so that we can make porters, and then we have an item that auto banks for us. So, let's not waste any more time. Let's go. Let's get this stuff done. So first on the list is Dragon Slayer. Now, this quest in particular is very iconic because it is the hardest free-to-play quest that you can do, but also, way back in the day, it would unlock the ability for you to wear the rune plate body, which at the time was like the best in the game. So, what you do is you enter the Champions Guild and they tell you, hey, you gotta go do a quest, go talk to this guy, and maybe he'll give you a rune plate body. So you go talk to him and he's like, what are you talking about? You're like, hey, you have him, right? And he's like, no. If you want it, go kill this dragon. Whatever, get out of my face. And so you go back and they tell you, hey, you have to get these pieces to a map to go to the dragon. And so you get scared by the voiceovers, right? It was a bit weird, but one of them is this maze of this crazy guy, which ends with a demon, which I killed super fast. I was like very startled how quickly I killed it. Normally in old school, that's a bit of a fight. So the second piece of the map is being held by a goblin who is in jail, and you can't kill him, but you can either pay him or you can kind of knock it out of his hand and then telegrab it out of the jail cell. And then the last one is you go talk to the wise woman on top of the mountain, and she tells you, hey, there's this door which has a whole bunch of random items like an uncooked pot made out of clay and a mind bomb and a lobster pot, and it lets you in, and it's a bit weird. I think it made more sense way back in the day, but now it's kind of like it's just random items. So then you have to go buy the boat because nobody wants to actually take you there. You buy the boat, you have to fix it yourself. Then you need a shield to protect you from dragonfire. This is like the most important part of this quest because dragonfire does crazy amounts of damage, so you have to have a shield. And since I've been using a two-hander, I was like, you know what? I'm going to make myself a rune weapon. No, I completely forgot I was not 50 attack. So I spent all of that time making it, and I can't even use it. So I just went and bought a one-handed sword, an adamant sword. And so you use the shield because Dragonfire in this game does magical damage, but it's special and you have to have the shield to block it. And so you get the shield, you get the map, you get somebody to agree to drive your ship and take you to the Isle of Crandor. And now check out this cutscene. This is like original early RuneScape 2-ish. Wow. The texture's glitching in and out. The ship crashing. Oh yeah, it's great. So the new boat that you just bought, it breaks. You get into the volcano, and this is Elvarg the dragon. So Elvarg is responsible for killing the entire Isle of Crandor, which is the island you get to. And this fight took a while. I was hitting pretty well, but here it is at 400% speed. But this is kind of like my first real boss fight. Kind of. I managed to hit really high because of the Berserk skill, which doubles your damage, but you take extra damage. And then we defeated the dragon and take her head off just for good measure. And then you head back to the guy who sells the rune plate body. His name's Oziak. Show it to him and he's like, wait, you actually did it? And you're like, yeah, you told me to go do it. I could do it. Super easy, right? And everybody's like, bro, this dragon has been terrorizing us for years. And you're like, yeah, no, I did it. No problem. And there you go. You get the ability to wear rune plate bodies, but in RuneScape 3, they just give you your own. So check that out. That's a free rune plate body, and you can buy the other tier 50 plate bodies from him. So the Mystic top and the Blue Dragon Hide top. So you get level 50 all, except for Necromancy. So check out that rune plate body. So now that I finished the quest, and I got the free rune plate body, I now made my own, and then got them all to +3 here at the Artisan Workshop. So we're at 53 smithing now. We have full +3 rune armor, and now we can work towards doing the Family Crest Quest. Just still a mouthful. Now, I understand that that requires me to use magic, but that's okay. I still wanted to get the rune armor made. It's kind of like a milestone. I mean, it took me until 57 defense, but I finally have rune armor. And then maybe we can work towards unlocking dragon. Or whatever RuneScape 3's equivalent is. So that's what we're going to do, is now we're going to start working on that quest. So in the quest, you are helping a father have his sons come home and bring their pieces of the family crest, basically. There are 3 sons. There's a chef, a guy looking for jewelry, and a mage. And with the chef, his agreement is, if you bring me cooked fish, I'll give you the piece. And like, that's it. You get done like super fast. It's crazy. The second one, he is on a mission to find a perfect ruby necklace and a perfect ruby ring for his girlfriend, I think. And when you ask him, like, hey, what is perfect gold? He's like, I don't know. You're like, well, is it even real? And he's like, yeah, I think so. And that's it. So you have to go talk to a dwarf, and the dwarf's like, oh, no, it is real. Just go on the other side of the world to Artie, right outside, and it's down in a dungeon. So you have to kind of do a little bit of a puzzle. You get in this room specifically, and you have to get 2 pieces. Don't forget to get 2 pieces of perfect gold. You go make the necklace and the ring, give it to him, boom, done. You get his piece as well. And then you travel to North Varrock, where you find the mage upstairs in a bar, and he is dying of poison. So you have to give him an anti-poison. Then he tells you that he's hunting a demon, but the demon's strong, and here's where the problem comes in. This is why I needed 59 magic, because you have to hit him with all 4 of the elemental spells, which I had a ton of problem doing because I couldn't figure out how to do it with the Revolution system. I eventually got it, but to make matters worse, there are ranged poison spiders. Jagex, why did you do this? It's so annoying. So annoying to deal with this. But we finally killed him. He drops a piece. Please let me move on with my life. And with that terrible, terrible boss fight, quest done. Right? Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. So, quest complete. So why did I make such a big deal about this quest? 2 big reasons. One is now I can put gold and silver into my ore box, which means I can mine gold for longer. But there's also these, which are the family gauntlets, which then I can give to the cooking guy, and he'll cook the gauntlets. I don't know. But it will help me stop burning so many of these fish. It also has 2 other variations where you can give it to the perfect gold brother, and he can turn it into gold gloves. And they might work the same way as they do in old school, and I'll have to look that up. Or you can turn them into chaos gauntlets, which don't really do a whole lot. They make your chaos spells do more damage, or your bolt spells, but I'm already past that, so, you know, whatever. So we got the gloves, great. Now we're going to work on getting some gold and making those porters. So I went on the wiki and looked up places to mine gold. And it turns out, at 15 Dungeoneering, you can come down into this mysterious cavern. There's a bank deposit box right here. And there's gold rocks right here. I did not... I didn't have to do the quest. Oh, that's okay though. I will keep chugging along. Hey, so future Yaba here. I realized that I spent about 2 full episodes talking about these things called porters, and then I finally unlocked them. And for some reason, I don't have any footage about the porters at all. So let me just take a second and explain what they are. So a porter is a little item that fits into your pocket slot, which is the same slot that holds the Book of that holds the statue collection bag, a few other items. But what it does is when you equip it, it will transport a set amount of items to your bank before it basically disintegrates. Now, the amount of items that it sends to your bank is dependent on the level of the porter itself. So why I was trying to get the gold bars in everything and do the Family Crest Quest and all that nonsense is because with those gloves and with completing the quest, you can put gold bars into your metal bank. So these things that you have with the furnace and the forge, that's your metal bank. So it's separate than your regular bank. Also, I learned that the gloves allow you to bulk smelt bars, which is something that you can't really do, but with the gloves you can basically queue it up to 60, which is awesome. Now, the reason that you need gold bars is to make a sign of the porter, you actually need energy from the divination skill as well as necklaces. So the necklaces could be sapphire, could be emerald, ruby, diamond, etc., etc., as it goes up higher in the level of porters that you have. Now, what you do is you just take the energy, click to weave it, create a sign of the porter, weave, boom, done. That's it, right? So the sapphire necklace can make the level 2, the emerald necklace can make the level 3 with the appropriate tier of energy. So I have some extra ones. And now these are inactive. So the way that they work is you equip them, they go in your pocket slot, and they allow you to send stuff straight to your bank. But you might be thinking, well, why would I need that, right? If I'm doing fishing, I'm going to be a Minifos, so I'm right next to a bank deposit box. If I'm doing wood cutting, I am just going to use my wood box, and then I just walk to the bank. I carry like 300 logs on me. I'm going to do mining. Well, I have my ore box, right? I don't need it. So here's the reason why porters are awesome, is because there's a few unique situations where they really help. So things like flax. If you wanted to pick flax, well, if you pick it, instead of it going in my inventory, you see this little thing? Boom, it's straight to my bank, right? So I can sit here and I can keep picking until my porter runs out. And then once it runs out, it will disintegrate. It will tell me in the chat, hey, it's gone. And what you can do is instead of bringing one and then filling up your inventory, you could just fill your inventory with porters. And with these level 3 ones, you could imagine that each inventory slot plus your pocket, so you'd have 29, would be 29 times 15 items, which is awesome. right? Now, there's a few other things that you could use it for. Like, you could kill cows, and it won't bank everything, but when you pick up the cowhide, it'll send the cowhide to the bank. That's pretty cool. But one of the other really, really big things is there is items in the game called stone spirits. And what they do is they allow you to double the ore that you mine by consuming the spirit. So if you have a gold stone spirit, every time you mine a gold ore, you'll get 2. Well, there's this other thing that's over here in Falador, that's down in the mine, that's right here, this living rock cavern. Now, here's where it really starts to compound on itself. The living rock caverns, although I can't do it yet, I thought I could, but I can't. The living rock caverns, there's condensed gold, and whenever you mine it, you mine 5. But the cool thing about the porters is that whenever you mine 5, it counts it as one single game action. So you mine 5, but it counts as 1, and so one use of the porter will bank all 5. And then the gold spirit, I think, either gives you 6 instead of 5 or 10. And so you get tons and tons and tons of gold, but you're using a teeny tiny amount of resources. Now, there's also the gem rocks, because whenever I was first thinking this, I was like, man, getting gems is going to be really annoying. Oh no, if you come over here to Al-Kharid, right here, there's an uncommon gem rock that gives you sapphire, emerald, and rubies. Super easy, right? That's it. That's all it gives you. And then you can go to Dungeoneering. You can grab yourself a gem bag and carry even more gems in your inventory. Or you could just use a porter and send it straight to your bank. So you kind of have this feedback loop where you get all of the energy for divination to make your porters, and then you use the porters to make more necklaces, and then you use the porters to get the materials to make more necklaces, and you just rotate over and over and over. So that is why I really wanted to unlock the porters, because I knew that in the early game, it's not going to be a whole lot, but later on in the game, being able to just auto-bank stuff is going to save time in the long run. So that's why I made such a big deal about him. And hopefully that makes a little bit more sense as to why I spent so long obsessing over this thing. Now, there's a little bit more, so let's get back to the video. Another really cool thing is that we actually finished the statue, which is all of these strange rocks that you get. But once you finish it and put it all together, it just explodes again, and then it starts over. But if you go full completionist, every single time you finish it, the museum staff give you 1 replica piece. And so I think you have to build it like 30 times or something, but then you can build a replica in your player-owned house. I thought this was super cool when it originally came out, and I will probably strive to do it again on here. Just because I think it's a neat little goal. Just a side thing that you can do. We completed Dragon Slayer. We completed Family Quest. And I kind of ran out of things to do. So I was working on Slayer, and I just finished an Infernal Mage's task. Not a fun task. Very much not fun. But I got my range level up, and then now my combat level has hit 75, which means now I can go to the level 75 Slayer Master, which is in Zanaris, or Zanaris, however you want to pronounce it, which means I have to do Lost City in order to get to the Land of the Fairies. So that has given us a new target, and that's what I'm going to work towards now, because then that also unlocks the ability for me to buy a Dragon Longsword later once I get to 60 attack, so another thing to look forward to. So the Lost City quest is a bit of an iconic quest because it has some pretty major unlocks whenever you finish it. But the quest is that you get told of a lost city, you find the leprechaun's like, yeah, it's here in the garden shed. But in order to get to it, you have to have a magical staff. Well, the magical staff comes from a magical tree, which is underneath the island of the monks, which you can't take weapons to, but you can bring the materials to make your own weapon, and then you can safe spot it. Now, you basically try and cut down the tree. You get attacked by a spirit. Kill the spirit. Super easy. And then you cut down the tree. I felt really bad because this other person that was there, I watched them punch it. It took them forever. But you make the staff. You enter the garden shed. You get magically teleported to the land of the fairies. You get to look around. It's great. And that's it. That's the whole quest. Seriously, that's it. That's all you have to do. Now, the reason why this is so important is because it unlocks some major transportation later. But now, once you pay a diamond and get into this area, you can purchase dragon weaponry, which is our first set. So we're able to purchase the dragon dagger and the dragon longsword, but this person also has a dragon two-handed sword, which is not normally there, so that's pretty cool.
I've been doing archaeology while I've been editing the videos, and something really cool. I got my first world shoutout. I got the assistant qualification at the Archaeology Guild. I also got this, so I'm going to unlock a new power, I believe. And then I'm going to become an assistant in the Archaeology Guild. I have to figure out how to do this thing. But let's see. I believe the assistant is how I start to get my archaeology team ready for a ceremony. Oh. Cool. Okay, so now I can research. I got my own assistants, and I got the title. Awesome. So let's see what this is all about now. So I figured out I just had to use that seal on the monolith, but now I have, if I choose to equip this, 10% increase at all reputations at the Heart, the Farming Guild, which is great, Minifos, which is also great, and Mazcob. So I don't know the Heart and Mazcob yet, but these two, that's pretty cool. That's going to help a whole bunch.
And now that is where I'm going to end today's episode. So we got a whole bunch of quests done, got a lot of progress done, and then I basically had to stop playing for a while. No worries, I didn't quit the game. I've actually been logging in. I do have some more footage recorded for episode 11, but I've also been logging in almost every day to do our daily challenges. And so our stats have gone up. Some of it from the quests that you'll see in episode 11, but also just from doing those daily quests and the crazy, unnecessarily large amount of XP that they give for just completing the daily stuff. I've also been doing Slayer in my off time because I have been enjoying combat way more than I thought I would. The abilities are actually really kind of cool, to be honest. So we'll look into doing that. I kind of want to start looking at potentially doing some bosses, maybe like Giant Mole. I know that's kind of like the starter boss, but also potentially working towards another skill to work towards, maybe even a 99 maxing out a quest or maxing out a cape, a skill, maybe. So that's going to be it for this episode. Oh, and also, if you are so interested, I have actually been streaming during the weekdays at twitch.tv/Suryaba. Also, I will be playing other things other than RuneScape. So you're going to be seeing videos from my streams, but also content on the YouTube channel of different games on top of RuneScape 3. So if you're interested, hopefully you're as excited as I am. So come check me out over there. And for this RuneScape video, that's going to be it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all of the support. It has been awesome. Thank you for all of the messages saying that they love the series. I'm having a ton of fun making videos, making these episodes. It's just been a wild and crazy ride, and it's wonderful. So thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video.